I'm really going to be stumbling over my words again today. I'm very bad at remembering that in this format, in this one's crew battle format, you have games, 5 games, up to 5 games every series, and up to 5 series every match. So we've got game, series, match. But okay, I can reveal for the first match, for the first series, I should say, of the day, we have AyyJayy versus Yan. Brazil have chosen their star player to play first up against USA's AyyJayy, who also opened the match for them in their Ones World Cup attempt against the KSA B team, which did not end up working in their favor. But an interesting strategy here from Brazil to send out their star player first. Obviously, you know, I'm talking, I'm bigging up Card and Lost as well in the pre-match here, because I think they will be threats to First Killer and Daniel later on. But they'll definitely be underdogs. I think this is the only match where Brazil are probably favored, but not by much. AyyJayy is, of course, incredibly talented. But Yan has been just one of those guys who's even been in the conversation for simply best in the world of 1v1 in the past, some point in the past year. Right up there with TRK. And it's because of things like this. His air dribble bump game is so impressive. AyyJayy did a great job there to miss being hit on the first one of the series. Yeah, this is, I think, not normal. Good save there by Yan. AyyJayy should be scoring here, though. Not the best shot on the follow-up. He decided to play a bit more conservatively, but he should be scoring at some point here. This is a massively winning position, but he's missed it off the post. Okay, now that was definitely a bit of a misplay from AyyJayy, and Yan punishes him. 1-0 Brazil. Like I was saying, this is not standard. Most teams in this format have sent out their well, they've saved their most informed player to last. Obviously for USA, that is a much closer conversation, because I think Daniel, First Killer, AyyJayy are all very close in skill, and on any given day they might take wins off each other. But for the majority of teams in this format who definitely have a star player, and that's how I would describe Brazil, Yan is definitely their star player in ones. Most teams don't send out the star player first, they save him for later. Brazil are opting to just get him in early, hopefully get a win, and then if he has to come back and win later, he'll have a break before going into that match. I imagine that's what the idea is. It's also worth mentioning, every team who won Series 1 in any of the Ones World Cup matches did go on to win the match, so this could be smart for Brazil to send out the star player first. Only time will tell. You know, the problem is, if AyyJayy can beat him, and Card and Lost will be huge underdogs. Because between the two of them, they would have to beat the 3 best Ones players in USA. Very closely fought start to the match here. Yan has looked like the more confident of the 2 players for me. He's went for a couple of all-in moves. AyyJayy a bit more reluctant to do so. We might see another one here from Yan. Thought about it, but realizing AyyJayy had a good saving angle, left it for the boost steal instead. AyyJayy on 0. Yan looking to pressure him. And you got to watch out for the hard cuts in field here. AyyJayy didn't see it coming. He thought Yan was going to run across to the boost grab at the other side of the box. Yan has the control, looking like Nexto on the turn, setting up the open net. For nice 18, thanks to the 23-month Tier 1, also Australian 1, thanks to the 27-month Prime. Welcome back to the channel, and brand new Prime from Galleon NL. Thank you for the Prime preview as well. Now, one quick question before we get deep into this series. Can you guys check and see if the VOD for this stream is already published? It should be. I've been having some problems with my Twitch dashboard recently. Oh, great finish by Yan. He's got AyyJayy pre-jumping. Yeah, I've been having some problems with my Twitch dashboard. I've not been able to change the ad manager, not been able to auto-publish my VODs. And I even had some problems publishing the previous VOD, my view party from Friday, manually. It wasn't letting me do that. But yeah, it's now letting me do all those things. So I think we're good. Oh, what a recovery. Yan is looking extremely prepared for today's match. That was a very early read on AyyJayy. Immaculate recovery. And he slots the open net as well. This is best of 5 between Yan and AyyJayy. They're going to continue playing for this whole best of 5. And then USA and Brazil will send out his second player, who will also play a best of 5. AyyJayy narrowly misses the flick, but he gets a mind games. Yan expected it to hit. I don't blame Yan for expecting this one to hit. It looked good for AyyJayy. He had the setup right. He even had the right height to approach the flick from, but he ended up tipping it with the back end of the car as he was about to pull the trigger on it, and that knocked the ball away from him, which actually mind-gamed Yan successfully. Now, Yan going to fight for this back corner boost. That could be risky, but AyyJayy didn't get a lot of acceleration. Yan bumps him away and puts in a 5th. A close call there in the back corner. You know, Yanxnz had to read that AyyJay's boost starved in order for that boost steal to be safe. But he correctly predicted that AyyJay was in fact on 0, and that allowed him to get the boost steal and the goal that followed. Yan is on 48 ping. He's playing from Florida to the US East server. They're in the United States at the moment, playing the winter split in NA. So this will be an entirely US East server series, even though we've got 3 Brazilian players in the lobby. They're all in the US, so it will be all US East servers. Yeah, I know some people are probably going to ask, is this the top 3 ones players from Brazil? The answer is probably not, because KV1, you've got to put KV1 in there. But who's going to have a better chance against the top players from the USA? Would it be KV1 on 130 ping, 140 ping, or Lost or Card on 40? I think Lost or Card on 40 have a much better chance, because KV1's had success playing on USC server in the past, but more recently it's become exceedingly difficult for him to make that happen. I think the other player that needs a shout out for Brazil, because it has a rich talent pool of ones, would be Wisty. I think Wisty's also phenomenal. Himself and KV1, I think, are the 2 outstanding players. But also Bems has been pretty high rated recently, so shout out to him. Lots of ones talent in Brazil. And yeah, I think you can actually see some of those players I just mentioned playing RLCS on the Rocket League channel right now, because, well, not the twitch.tv/Rocket League channel, but the South American Rocket League channel is live at the moment. Oh, hold on a second. AyyJayy should be scoring here, and that will bring us to a 1-goal game. Yan continues to do Yan things. Just going completely all in and hoping that his mechanics will pull him through. But AyyJay's countered him now, and he is coming back in this game, a game which Yan has controlled for the majority. Delayed kickoff for AyyJayy. Yan not able to recover. Well played, AyyJayy. What a brilliant decision to switch things up with the delayed kickoff. His approach looked pretty normal, and Yan, with the wave dash recovery kickoff attempt, did not have a good landing because AyyJayy didn't hit the ball into him. That's what the wave dash recovery kickoff is trying to do, is trying to absorb the flip from the other player. And it can't happen if they don't flip into the ball. Yan's still in an advantageous position. Looking to shoot early here. Might even trip AyyJayy up on the exit. AyyJayy recovering well. Staying with the ball even though he's been boost star, been bumped. Chain dash is helping him keep up with the play. Oh no, that could be a misplay for AyyJayy though. Yan has an open net on 0 seconds and he won't miss that. Oh my goodness. AyyJayy has completely thrown away the game. He tries to keep the ball up in 0 seconds in a position he can work with, but he just passes it to Yan. Well, that is a real shame for AyyJayy, because he had a monstrous comeback in this game. He was really looking a bit out of it until the final minute, but he came back only to then lose it on 0 seconds of the throw. Well, that's hard to see. It looks like he might be switching card or preset here for game 2. Yan will be very happy. Brazil will be very happy with how this is going. It's really interesting to see this strategy of using the star player first. I actually like it, to be honest. I think in the meta where every other team is sending or saving their star player to last, sending your best player out first could be a good idea. Just get them a nice little tune-up win and then a break before going on to the next match, because ones can be very taxing if you're going game 5, game 5, game 4, all in a row. Oh, look at AyyJayy kicking off game 2 with a bang. Sorry, Card, but we need to see this from your POV to understand how unsavable it is. Fakes a high shot, AyyJayy then wave dashes to shoot the ball low underneath the pre-jumping Yan. Yan probably wishes he stayed grounded that time, so he ends up looking a bit silly, missing the ball. AyyJayy with the win of the race to the boost. Air dribble commences. He doesn't have a reset yet. Now he does. Yan just flips straight through the ball though. It looked a bit awkward for AyyJayy. I think Yan correctly understood that the best chance of coming away with the ball there was just to go straight for it. Again, you look at... Oh, we didn't get to see Yan's POV, but yeah, AyyJayy was struggling to get that reset. He had to really contort his car and use a lot of boost to do it. That's why Yan was able to go for the early challenge confidently. Yan, fake wall shot off another AyyJayy miss hit. I don't think he meant to chip the ball off the wall like this. That's almost another time where he set Yan up. Yan trusting his recoveries again to get him back into the game after just briefly being on the wrong side of the ball. He just looks so threatening though, doesn't he? He's got options as well on every play. What a snipe. Yan, from distance, catches AyyJayy, running for boost at the wrong time. AyyJay's really thinking Yan's going to continue this bounce dribble for another 1 bounce, maybe 2. maybe go all the way right up next to the goal, but Yan realized that there was an opening. It was only open in that one corner though. If he shot at the other side of the goal or even the center, would not have worked. That's much better from Yan. No pre-jump, he just waited to see where the shot was headed. Just a quick pop on target, sets up the boost seal, and Yan's in a hugely advantageous position again. And up he goes. Automatic reset. Fake from Yan, and the 50-50 to finish it off. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I think when it comes to offense in 1v1, Yan is the best of the bunch. I think no one in the world can match this guy for offensive output, unless you count Zen, who's recently come onto the scene. He is just ridiculous, and although I think Yan's defense is world-class as well, it's really his offense that just looks unplayable. When he's on, he just does not look possible to defend against. So creative, he's just got full control. AyyJayy will need to start fighting a bit more from the midfield, because backing off and trying to defend your net against this guy is just not a comfortable position for anyone to be in. Love to see Yan these days versus Rawas, so best defense in the world against, in my opinion, best offense for 1v1. That is, of course, just the best guess I can make, though, at the moment. Do want to see more from other offensive powerhouses as well, of course. Just look at the options Yan has here. Early shot was available for him. Delayed shot is available for him. He just has all the cards there, and AyyJayy's done brilliantly to match him and stop him on that play. Yan looking to change angles left and right as well as vertically. AyyJayy, very high takeoff for the air dribble. Tried to go for the top corner. Yan's pre-jump to save that angle as well. Now Yan's got an air dribble of his own. AyyJayy's backed off to the corner. Yan decides to just scoop it upwards. AyyJayy denies him. It's end to end, but this does favor Yan. So he's getting looks at the goal, and he's already got a 2-goal advantage. He even gets a boost steal here. Oh, the speed from AyyJayy though. I don't think he's got the open net, but that was still a great effort. Yan demos him to deny the open net rebound. Still good stuff from AyyJayy. I think he missed the back corner boost, and he still managed to get back in the play and create a goal scoring opportunity. Very surprising from a losing position. And here comes Yan again. AyyJayy with the ceiling challenge. Crushes it. Straight through the ball. Yan had a good hitbox as well. Looks like AyyJay's just managed to sneak the mid boost grab though. And finally force Yan back. He's accelerating into position, and it's a real challenge. AyyJayy has to think that could be a fake. That's why he doesn't just immediately get the ball moving. He doesn't want to concede possession into a fake challenge. Yan mixing it up, just rushing straight to the ball, even with an outside of the ball angle. And I don't think AyyJayy read this challenge either, because this is not a conventional place to challenge from. Yan surprising AyyJayy with aggression and defense. Yeah, AyyJay's probably thinking that's a fake, because of course he could move the ball infield. If he realizes Yan is in fact challenging there, he could just hit the ball into the middle and catch up to it. But Yan is banking on the fact that AyyJay's not going to see this coming. This is Furia's bread and butter. It's how they've dominated the 2's rank ladder recently as well. They just go when you don't think they can. Here comes Yan again. More mind games off the back of resets. He doesn't want to hit the ball into AyyJayy, and he's already got a big advantage like this. That's how he lost his lead in game 1. He's looking pretty unplayable right now. AyyJayy just can't get into the match. Now Yan does let rip, and it's an unstoppable shot for 5-1. AyyJayy giving him a compliment in the chat for it. What a flick. Bar down. AyyJayy fell off the post, but I don't know if it would have mattered. So Yan's offense has been completely flawless. Well, maybe not flawless, but I think this might sound like a crazy train of thought, but bear with me. I think the fact that Yan's offense is not completely flawless, I feel like the fact that it's a little bit imperfect at times. He's having to recover the ball after briefly losing control of it. He's having to go for a second option after the first doesn't look so good anymore. I think that's part of what makes him so difficult to defend against. He just improvises at an extremely high level. I think it's just so hard for anyone to read what he's doing when he himself just jumps up into the air and sometimes makes it up as he goes. Yeah, AyyJay's not done yet. This game looks completely over. He had to just send it there if he's going to have any chance of a comeback. Yan spotted him. That all but confirms the game 2 win. Bruh, who is Yan? He is so good. Yan is one of the absolute best players in the world. I think he was probably the best player in the world at the time of Gamers 8 last season. I know some people don't think Gamers 8 counts. He's trying a pogo here. It's not going to work. Guess there's something he could add to his offensive repertoire still. Yeah, I really do think Yan at the time of Gamers 8, it was him, Vatira, and TRK, and I think Yan, for me, with his success in Gamers 8, probably deserved a shout for best in the world at that point. Yeah, Spring Major would have been Vatira, and then Yan at Gamers 8. You know, Yan had a better result than Moist at World, so it's not that crazy of a statement to call Yan best in the world, even after the World Championship, I would say. It's him, Vatira, or Monkey Moon, probably after the World Championship for me. Definitely up there. You need to be looking at this guy. He is absolutely insane. I mean, if you know who AyyJayy is and you know how good AyyJayy is, let me just put it to you like this. If you're an AyyJayy fan and you don't know who Yan is, this result is not actually too surprising. I think Yan is the favorite in this, and it's not because AyyJayy isn't a top 10 ones player in the world. He absolutely is. It's just because Yan is that good. AyyJayy more than up against it now, though. Down 2 games. What about best player in the world right now? For me, best players in the world right now are apparently Jack and Vatira, top 2. I think that's really the obvious answer. And if I had to round it out with a third player, ooh, hard to say actually. I think if you asked me right after the major, I would have said Rise, because, you know, Moist did finish second, and Rise looked like he was incredible in LAN again. Right in this very second, though, I would lean. I mean, you've probably just got to say another Gen G or Karmine Corp player, to be honest. I think right now, this, like, it depends what kind of time frame. If we're talking the entire season, Chronic, also top 3 for me. If we're talking current, I think Itachi looks like a top 3 player right now, for me. Itachi, Vatira, and Appjack, top 3. But that's on a shorter term list. You know, it depends what kind of window we're talking about here. If we're refreshing our best players every month, yeah, let's just say right now Itachi's top 3 as well. But if we're doing it 6 months, probably Chronic. 3 months, yeah, probably Chronic as well. Well, Yan is off to another flying start. He just looks impossible to play against. AyyJay's tried rushing challenges. He's tried reacting to what Yan's doing, and it just has not worked out. Nothing he does has really worked in his favor. Nolly deserves more respect. Listen, I think Nolly has been a perfect third for Gen G, just like I think Exotic's been a perfect third for Karmine Corp. That doesn't mean that it's disrespectful to say both his teammates were slightly more individually impressive. I think Nolly might even agree with that. But yeah, Nolly's been brilliant. He's been he's a player, and I think Exotic as well. Nolly and Exotic are great players at playing for the team. Everything they do is for their team, which is what brings out the best in Chronic and Jack. Especially Chronic, I think he needs that. I think doesn't apparently Jack hate the term the glue. Oh, great play by AyyJayy. What a read on Yan's boost total and trusting himself to beat him to the punch. Yeah, before we like get into the deep end of this third game, doesn't apparently Jack hate the term the glue? He hates the glue. Why does he hate the glue? Does he think that that's just copium for a bad player? Like when somebody's statistically terrible and people call him the glue to make up for bad stats. Is that why he hates it? Because I don't think that's what the glue means for me. The glue for me is just a player who always plays for their teammates. Because I think in a perfect team, you can't have everybody playing for themselves. That's true, I reckon. I think you could probably have one player playing for themselves and still be a really good team. But it's probably better to have one player who just always plays for the team in every situation. One player who always plays for himself, sure. But it's probably better if one player always plays for the team and then the other two are like interchangeable. Oh, AyyJay's got a lead. And it's off a great little boost seal here. He manufactured this goal very well. Oh, what a turn as well. We really see the expertise on that setup from his own POV. Yeah, finishing thought. That's what the glue means for me. Is a player who always plays for the team. That's what I think that means. I think it can be a good term to use. But I agree, Jack's got a point. Sometimes people try and use terms like the glue or the leader or like the captain as copium for someone in the team having bad stats. Great off the ball, this kind of thing. They are kind of nonsensical statements in some circumstances. Okay, 2-goal lead for AyyJayy. Remember, he started down 2-0 in this game, so this is a perfect comeback for him. He's finding a way to be competitive. He's had a couple of car switches. Now he might have found the winning formula. Played I think in game 1 to fight Yan for the play and ended up just coming off barely second best. And of course we had Fennec game 2, a bit more of a defensive approach. Now he's trying a bit more defensive approach to the Octane. Just trying to react to what Yan's doing. Yan skipped past him. I don't think AyyJayy can reach this. Not quite. He tried. Yan with the air roll added enough power to the shot. That air roll there was necessary to generate enough power on the ball to get the ball on target. It's all about hitting the ball with the very front corner of the car. Air roll shot allows you to do that. Get the contact a little bit harder. Kickoff win for AyyJayy allows him to set up maybe a double up. He's lost control though. Still staying with the ball though, and he reads the early challenge. Well, this is something that Yan used to his advantage at the end of game 2, and now AyyJayy's starting to spot it. Watch AyyJayy's POV on this. Yan leaves the screen, and he's immediately lining up the shot. He doesn't wait to see if Yan's coming. He's already lining up the shot before he sees Yan coming, and that way, when Yan continues to challenge, AyyJayy has the shot prepared. Great stuff. After initially losing control there. Again, he's able to spot Yan's intentions. Backs him up with a shot. He's, I think, had much more success reading Yan in this game, and again, predicts where he's going to be, and takes him out of the game. So AyyJayy fighting, despite being down 2-0, and despite really being up against it there. I think game 2 looked pretty dire for him. He's just started to anticipate Yan's aggression when he needed to, and he started to surprise Yan with aggression of his own. Here we go again. AyyJayy is going to go up 7-3. This is exactly what I'm talking about. AyyJayy surprising Yan with his aggression. I mean, Yan expecting AyyJayy to be backing off here. He's just getting ready to collect the ball on the back wall. Next thing you know is AyyJayy scoring. So all AyyJayy now. Since Yan's 2-goal lead, AyyJayy has scored 7 of the next 8 goals, and he looks set to take an even larger lead here. Decides to mind game the dish instead. Thanks, by the way, to SmartyPZ for the 12-month Prime, and also King Spectre for the 73-month Tier 1. Welcome back to the channel. Hold on a second, I was just looking at that in the corner of my eye. Did Yan miss that open net, or did AyyJayy get a piece of it? Nice save there by Yan in the follow-up. AyyJayy got it. I thought so. I only saw it in my peripheral vision. And then I looked at the screen, saw a blue trail, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that would have been AyyJayy getting a piece of it. Or getting a piece of the exchange. There's no way Yan's missing from that range. He's been pretty clinical today. Front of net. Tries to catch AyyJayy turning early. Which is not a terrible idea for Yan. AyyJayy has been a bit more prepared to do that. Yeah, if you look at the shot output, AyyJayy doubling Yan here. He's just had better control after the kickoffs. He's really nullified a lot of Yan's challenges, nullified a lot of Yan's attacks. Yan might still go for a comeback here. No, he's just driving underneath the ball. I don't think he's got any chance. Or does he? Okay, no, he's trying to sneak into position, it seems, to snap a wall shot on target. But yeah, very difficult with that much time left. And now indeed he will just kill the remaining few seconds. They're just big numbers at this point. Yeah, I mean, these sub-streaks, I don't understand them anymore. Every time I see one, I'm like, I don't know how many years that is. Up until 60 months, I feel like I could just tell you, like, immediately how many years and months that is. But now that we're past the 70s, I always have to just pause for a second and think, how many years is that? I think, yeah, what, 73, what are we looking at there? That's got to be 6 years and a month, I believe. But yeah, I have to think about it now. At least 3. Yeah, definitely at least 3. So AyyJayy on the board. Can he get more to go in his favor? Yan needs to keep an eye out for AyyJayy low boost aggression in this 4th game. One of the things I think AyyJayy was able to capitalize on. AyyJayy gets a goal with a reset to kick things off. Look at the kickoff game as well. AyyJayy really having a lot of success right now. What is Yan going to do to try and get a little bit more of the ball after the kickoff? He hooks it and decides to try and chip it across the far side of the goal. Probably hoping AyyJayy's pre-jumping near post there. Very safe shot though for Yan, because he's got possession and 100 boost afterwards. The following shot's not that great though, because this boost is, oh, it's just barely going to spawn. I was going to say this boost is not back in a hurry, but Yan timed it well. Now floor double for Yan. That'll do it for 1-1. A more patient display from Yan, as he took his time with this attack. The floor double was a good addition to his already impressive highlight reel that he's produced from this match. Yan using a bit too much boost, can't get back to defend against AyyJay's kickoff goal. AyyJayy just pushing the ball big time to the outside there. Yan actually trying to do the same thing. He might try flipping left here to counter what AyyJayy just did. And indeed that is what Yan's going to do. So that'll stop him from getting a kickoff goal. But still, AyyJayy with such a good hitbox in the ball, he comes away with it anyway. Yan trying to counter-attack down the middle. AyyJayy immediately intercepts. He's leaning back into the reset. Yan waiting patiently for his moment to strike. That corner boost is there. It's Yan's for the taking. AyyJayy has to retreat. No shots on that possession play. Yan does get the air dribble bump to land this time. He's not gone for too many today, because I think AyyJay's starting off the series with a couple of good saves on air dribble bumps. Kind of persuaded Yan it might be a risky strategy in the short term. You're going to get a few every now and then. He's just so good at them. Why not? Just mix it in. Keep AyyJayy guessing. AyyJayy would be wise to go for one himself here. Indeed he does, and it works. Yan dodges the demo, but could not save the shot after doing so. Yeah, AyyJayy with his straight approach, I think making a very good decision there to just fly in front of the ball. Yan had the right idea for the save, because AyyJayy was quite in front of the ball there, but he just took a split second too long before getting into position for the save. Yan trying to set up an immediate shot. AyyJay's of course going to be there for any heavy touch like that. It's another kickoff win for AyyJayy, but Yan's tried to push past him. AyyJay's just had a bit of a stronger kickoff when they've mirrored each other with that strategy. Yan muscles AyyJayy off the back corner boost. Trying to test him at the far post. Oh, what a catch from AyyJayy. That was very close to having at least some of your wheels off the back wall there, but AyyJayy did well. Yan narrowly avoids the back corner demo to now start an air dribble from his half. And he's going for the bump again. It lands again. 2 in a row now for Yan. 1 from AyyJayy in between. Getting a bit of an air dribble cringe or air dribble bump, whatever you want to call it. 1v1 at the moment. Yan switches back to the hook style kickoff. Big flip to the inside. And that seems to work a lot better against what AyyJay's doing right now. I think it would be smart for Yan to stick to that strategy. Oh wow, Yan just not trusting AyyJayy to have that. And that's a brave call, but a smart one it would seem. AyyJayy was looking to get a block on Yan's touch, and Yan just ignored him. Went straight for the ball. Still, over half the game to go. Yan gonna briefly leave the ball. That's a great call. He anticipated AyyJayy flipping away. Oh, that's really well played by Yan. You know, he's got mechanics for days. We often underappreciate how smart of a player he is. The fact that he went for the boost instead of the ball there shows that he anticipated AyyJayy flipping over to small pads and not ball chasing. So really good read of what would happen in that situation. Nice little pop as well over the early challenge. Just simple stuff, but effective. AyyJay's fake jump, not really doing much there. It wasn't timed while Yan was thinking about turning. Just maybe a bit too early. AyyJayy up very, very early for this challenge. Yan actually bounces and lands on AyyJayy. Well, that is not something you see every day, but both players have actually come out pretty even after all is said and done. AyyJayy was trying to catch Yan, but Yan wasn't moving, so he didn't really fall over. It's pretty smart by Yan not to panic and just drive as he was landing on AyyJayy, because it's in those situations where your car could just completely fall over. Yan didn't want that to happen, of course. Great touch from Yan as he's leaving the back corner there, just wasting a bit of time, giving him time to grab the mid boost. AyyJayy completely fakes him. What a play from AyyJayy. Yan going way too high with the pre-jump. AyyJayy, yeah, I think he just got that based on his game sound, because yeah, no, it wasn't actually on the screen. It's either a hard read or a game sound play there from AyyJayy. Would have heard the timing of the jump if he's got his game sound on, as I think most pros do. Oh, Yan underestimates AyyJay's recovery. The open net, I think, is hitting the post, ladies and gents. It is indeed. AyyJay's missed it. That was completely open, and he did so well to recover and beat Yan to the back corner boost. He'll be pretty annoyed at himself. He didn't get it on target. even though it was from a fair distance. AyyJay's boost running low. Yan is just trying to keep the pressure on him at this point. AyyJayy forces a favorable 50. Still has no boost in this position. Still, now time is a little bit closer to the end of the game. But AyyJayy did not lose another goal. That's the key. He was in a bit of a dire position, but he held on. AyyJayy with an extremely good ceiling recovery. Oh my goodness, what a save by Yan. He's left stranded now with no ability to pressure the ball, but it's not bouncing well for AyyJayy either. Yan spots an opening. Well, that's a bit unfortunate for AyyJayy. He still might be able to get the goal. He does. Well, he just did enough there to absorb Yan's challenge, because Yan spotted AyyJayy taking just a bit too long to control that. Almost got a good challenge in. So very well played by AyyJayy. Moved the ball upwards. That forced Yan's challenge to just come at the wrong time. Yan, 0 boost. Not where he wants to be. As we approach the final minute, AyyJay's got an angle to work with on the dribble here. And the flick is good. Just effortless from AyyJayy. Timed to perfection. And now with 22 seconds left, he's got a 1-goal lead. This wasn't a bad challenge by Yan. Of course, maybe he can flip the other way, but the flick was just too good. 22 seconds. Yan fakes the kickoff. I actually love that, because he's been struggling with standard kickoffs against AyyJay's stronger kickoff today. What's it going to be? Attempted bump for Yan. AyyJayy dodges it. And another dodge as Yan recovers and tries to bump him, allows AyyJayy to run and put the goal line up by 2. AyyJayy suffered a couple of heavy air dribble bumps from Yan earlier in the series, even this game. But he dodged the important one on a 1-goal advantage. And that combined with, I think, his just slightly superior push kickoff has gotten him right back into the series. Yan, he's got to go for more of a kickoff mix-up. I think he's gone back to that losing strat a bit too much. It's cost him direct goals, it's cost him plenty kickoff possessions. He wants another goal here just to give him some momentum, and he's not going to get it, but barely. We're going to game 5, a must-win for Brazil if they're going to stay in this on paper. And I think you'd be correct in power ranking the entire US lineup over Card and Lost. Card and Lost definitely competitive, but certainly underdogs. So as we get started with game 5, let me explain to the uninformed what Yan is consistently losing with on kickoff. So if Yan flips to the right here, he's actually going into AyyJay's strong side. He's had a bit more success when he flips left. I don't know if that pattern's going to continue, but it looks like Yan's anticipating the same thing, because he has in fact started off the game flipping left here to the inside. That has been AyyJay's weaker side with today's setup, and it's not even about getting kickoff goals. You might think, well, AyyJayy got the ball, so is that bad for Yan? Well, it's not ideal, but it's definitely better than some of the kickoff possessions Yan had to defend earlier. At least this time he had boost and ball pressure earlier on. There was some that he just lost immediate goals. There was some where he's got no boost, some where he can't pressure the ball at all. That was a much better result for Yan than most of the kickoffs last game. He had his moments, of course. Looks like Yan might have actually friend pinched that wide after initially 50-50ing it towards the net. AyyJayy flicks early. Yan will be pretty happy to see that, to be honest, but I don't hate it from AyyJayy, just to keep Yan guessing. Yan's always got to be thinking about early flicks. Oh, great demo. He caught AyyJayy on the landing here. That's going to be 2-0. Much better start for Yan in an all-important game 5. He can put Brazil on 3 players against 2 if he wins this. Although I know a lot of you are expecting Daniel and First Killer to beat Card and Lost, so many people are thinking Yan's going to need to beat all 3 today. We'll have to wait and see. Don't underestimate Lost and Card. Yeah, First Killer and Daniel's recent 1v1 form has been extremely impressive, so I would agree. I think that Yan is probably going to have to 1v3 today. That is my own prediction. And honestly, my whole prediction is that I don't think he will. I think that someone's going to get him. I don't know if it's going to be Daniel, First Killer, or even AyyJayy right now, but I think someone will get him. Because beating all 3 in a row is just, or in the same day, is kind of crazy to think about. You've got to think surely not. Not even Yan can pull something like that off. He's doing well against AyyJayy here. This is a more comfortable sort of position for Yan. He's even trying to steal the small boost pads there. You might notice he's Not just thinking about the big pad. He's taking a bit of a wider line. Go for the small ones as well. Another air double bump and look good. AyyJayy somehow saves it. He got in front of Yan, stopped the ball dead, but Yan's recovery was good enough to resume control of the ball at midfield. Now, what's it going to be here? It looks like another bump attempt. This one connects. Yan's relentless. I mean, you can only save so many of these. And I think with how good his recoveries have been off the back of these, I think why not? Why not keep going for these? He's recovered off the back of most of them. He's scored quite a few of them. So this looks like a winning strategy for Yan. AyyJayy has not threatened enough counterattacks from saves on Yan's air dribble bumps to stop this from happening. You need to threaten counterattacks off these if you're going to stop your opponent from doing them. Oh, wow. Free flip demo from Yan. Wide open net, 4-0. AyyJayy just not expecting that early dodge from Yan there. Didn't realize he was in the line of fire. I love how many people still think air dribble bumps are boring, as if it's easier to hit the opponent's car than the ball in Rocket League. Imagine having to hit something smaller than the ball that has a mind of its own. Like how much skill that takes. If you have any idea how difficult it is to bump AyyJayy and how difficult it is to bump a pro player, you'd realize how difficult it is to air dribble bump. The fact that Yan can do this with such consistency is ridiculous. There's a reason why air dribble bump spam is not in fact considered viable at the highest level of 1v1. It's because if the defender knows you're going to do it, they should be in a good spot because they know you're all in. But AyyJayy doesn't know. Yan's got so many tricks up his sleeve. He's got resets, he's got air dribbles, he's got every type of aerial play possible in his back pocket. So even though he's done it a lot this series, AyyJayy doesn't know. He can't just jump early and assume that Yan is air dribble bumping him. He has to wait and see. And that is the problem when you play against Yan. That is the threat. He is just too good at a plethora of shots, and it is hard to cover them all. Yeah, I guarantee you, if you told AyyJayy Yan's going to air dribble bump every attack and Yan had to do that, AyyJayy would win. Because he would know that it's coming, and he would challenge early, and he'd position accordingly. But right now, that's not an air dribble bump, that's a reset. So AyyJay's backing off. He knows Yan's got options there. He just can't get back into the match. Oh, he was so close. The demo almost landed, but not quite. And Yan is right back in control. AyyJayy has no way of stopping him now. Imagine an air dribble bump kickoff. Listen, if that ever becomes a thing, you know I'm gonna like print that. I'm gonna frame it, stick it on my wall. Just gonna put it on the, not even the wall, I'm gonna put it on the ceiling above my bed. I'll look at it every night before I go to sleep. That sounds beautiful. 10 out of 10. Yeah, AyyJayy done well here to come back. A lot of players would have given up after losing games 1 and 2 here. A lot of players would have just lost mentally. AyyJayy took 2 straight games before Yan just found the winning formula on kickoffs, and that's really like what Yan needed to do here to take control again. Last 2 games, AyyJayy had a better kickoff strategy, controlled most of the match from there. This time Yan knew what AyyJayy was doing and countered it. Or rather, stopped falling for it. And he's looked pretty flawless in doing so. So the good thing for Brazil, you know, I talked about this earlier, you know, I think it's a smart move for them to put Yan out first, because now, even though he's gone 5 games with one of his opponents today in AyyJayy, he does get a 2-series break, so he doesn't go straight from a 5-game grueling series against AyyJayy into a series against First Killer or Daniel. He gets a 2-series break, and he gets to watch both of his teammates play First Killer and Daniel to see what kind of tendencies First Killer and Daniel are playing with today. Maybe he can adjust his gameplay accordingly. He might be paying attention to the kickoffs that they're using and the kickoffs that are working against them. Maybe Lost and Card will have words of advice for Yan after they've played, even if they should lose. So I think great moves by Brazil here. It's worked out well. They would have been in a pretty horrendous position if Yan lost this, but he got the job done. Brazil lead 1-0 after the first series. GG's calls AyyJayy. Just waiting for the clock to hit 0. Yan clips on an open net. Great stuff. 2 of the best in the world. These 2 are absolutely top 10 ones players worldwide. Yeah, Yan looks like he's in pretty top form for this. Been a while since we've seen him play, but it looks like he's every bit as good as he always was. What has AyyJayy said here? Hold on, I've got to Google translate this. He's typing something in Portuguese here. Próxima vez. It means next time.